What's going on, guys? Welcome to another On Four Wheels car review. I am Chase.
It's your boy Patty Rick, and we just got done driving this 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X.
You guys stick around to find out if we think this luxurious truck is actually worth the hefty price. All right, Patty Rick, it is time. You ready for some stats?
I am ready for all of the stats.
All right, what kind of engine do we have powering this thing?
This is a 6.2 liter V8 making 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque.
As it says on the side, there's the whole V8 badge.
Yeah, no, they're real proud of the fact that it's a 6.2 V8. It's a great engine.
So as far as horsepower, how much did you say horsepower, Dad?
So 420 horsepower. Nice. 420 horsepower to the 6.2 V8. Pretty comparable. It's considered high for the class. To be fair, you guys know that I have a Toyota Tundra. My 22 Tundra makes 20 less horsepower than this truck. The 460 pound-feet of torque is great out of this 6.2 V8. Although my Tundra, again, just what I'm basing this off of, does have a little bit more.
I was gonna say, a lot of this video, a lot of the stats specifically, we're gonna use Patty's Tundra, one, because that's the only other truck we've reviewed thus far, because we're new. But you also have the most experience in that, so that'll give us, that's kind of our baseline truck value, so that way you guys can understand like where we're coming from.
Yeah, and where it falls within the category.
Right. Let's talk about transmission and the transfer case.
Yeah, so the transmission in this truck is a 10-speed automatic, very similar to what you're gonna find in the rest of GMC, Cadillac product. It's gonna be in like the Escalade and things like that.
Gotcha.
They call it a Multimatic 10-speed.
That's a fancy thing.
It is a fancy word. It's gonna keep coming up.
Noted. What is a transfer case?
So a transfer case essentially is the box in which the drive shaft comes out of the transmission into this box that will then send the power either just to the rear or just to the front or front and rear. Now on this truck,
very important object then.
Yeah,
okay.
it basically controls the four-wheel drive system.
Got it, okay.
And what this transfer case in particular has a couple different modes. It's got an auto mode, which is nice. It's what we have it in, which will hop between different modes as needed based on the traction control system. Okay. There is a two-wheel drive high, there is a four-wheel drive high, and a four-wheel drive low.
Okay. Wait, big old girl.
She's thick.
Yeah.
She's thick with like 7 or 8 seats. She's a big girl. She's 7,100 pounds.
And how does that compare to your Tundra?
My Tundra's 5,800 and some change. So it's a large weight difference.
She a couple snacks high.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Now that being said, finding the wet weight for this truck was really difficult. That is the weight rate of the GVWR. So that's fully loaded with all the stuff in your bed and everything. So like the actual wet weight on the truck could be significantly lower than that, but that stat was really difficult for us to find.
The internet will tell us.
The internet will tell us.
Yeah, because thank you in the comments. We appreciate it ahead of time.
Much appreciated, because the 5,800-ish is the wet weight on the Tundra.
Gotcha.
So it feels bigger. It feels weightier.
We'll talk about that when I'm driving it, but yeah, she definitely does feel a little thick.
She feels thick.
Okay, so towing capacity.
So towing capacity on this, it's the off-road pack, it's the AT4X. It doesn't have the tow package, the ultimate tow pack or any of that stuff. Okay. That being said, I'm a little disappointed by the number. Okay. We're looking right about, I want to say it's like 8,500 pounds.
Okay, and 8,400 pounds compared to, what's your Tundra?
My Tundra tows 12,000, and it's a base model Tundra.
So we're talking like a 50% less than.
Correct.
Interesting.
Which is just, again, it's different. The Tundras, I have like the ultimate tow pack on it and all that stuff. But even then, like,
that's still a pretty big number.
It's a big number, and the base Tundra will still tow like 10.5 or 11 without the tow packages.
Okay, so a little low on tow then. What about payload capacity?
Payload capacity also a hair low for the category. Okay. But again, the off-road models, so something like a Ram TRX and a Ford Raptor, they also kind of fall into this category of like 1,700-ish pounds. I think it's a little over 1,700 pounds for the payload capacity, where the Tundra is 1,950. Gotcha. So the Tundra's a little bit more. This is a much better off-road machine, and we'll talk about that later. Right. Where I feel like the Tundra's
like an all user case type thing?
It's more of a, yeah, it's more of a standard truck stuff. It's not a good off-road. My SR5 Tundra is not a good off-road machine.
What kind of MPGs and what kind of fuel capacity do we have?
So fuel capacity, we're looking at a 22-gallon gas tank.
Okay.
Compare that again to Tundra, you're looking about 25-ish, 24 and a half on the Tundra.
So we're close, we're on par.
We're totally even with the category, not a big deal there. Fuel economy, we're getting 14 MPG real world. It's rated for, I want to say, 14 and 17 city and highway.
I gotta be honest, for such a big truck, I'm honestly not surprised that for like 14, like that's actually not bad.
It's not.
Because this is
It's
a
not.
big old thing.
Yeah, she, again, thick, 8 Cs, 7 or 8.
Okay, so final thing for stats wise, let's talk about suspension.
So the suspension on this truck is really cool. Again, it's the AT4X, so it is different than a standard Sierra 1500. So in particular, this has a little bit of a lift to it. It's got about a 2-inch lift, and you'll see that later on. We'll kind of be able to show you exactly what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yep. And it has their I think it's still Multimatic is the term they still use for it, but it is like an adjustable suspension.
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily user adjustable, but it adjusts to its surroundings and it knows what's going on.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, very, very cool.
I like it, especially for an off-road vehicle where I imagine suspension is going to be like a very important aspect.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Patty Rick out here doing the off-road testing on our AT4X. So far we've hit gravel, forest, service roads, we've played with some mud, and we've gone over a couple obstacles. The terrain mode works great, the off-road mode works great, and that really intelligent four-wheel drive system is really cool, really fun to watch work. So far, I'm a big fan, so well, let's see what other mud we can find.
Okay, so let's talk about the center dash then. If that's all the stats, let's talk about center dash and the console up here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that?
So as it pertains to like the dash, the gauge cluster, it's a 12.3, I believe, inch display. It's all digital. It's a TFT. You can customize the bejesus out of it. It's pretty. I like it. I'm a red, white, and gray type of dude.
Yep. So when I got into this, I was like, okay, she nice. Well, for one, the clarity and the customizability are probably the two takeaways from the dash, for sure.
Yeah. I'm a really big fan. I like the HUD at night. There's a heads-up display on this truck. It's super cool at night. It shows you like your speed and then the speed limit and I think like the kind of the generalized compass of where you're at.
Right.
Hold on, Okay, so it shows me my speed and the speed limit as the truck picks it up. Yep. Which is cool, but if you're like me and you have light blue eyes and you have to wear sunglasses all the time, if you got Polar sunglasses, you can't see it. And I hate to interrupt myself.
You interrupt yourself.
I'm interrupting myself. Turn this HUD back off.
We're at yeet turn.
We're at my favorite turn of the day, folks. I would put it in sport mode, but it doesn't have a sport mode.
Let me brace myself for impact.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Anyway, I gotta go, Mike. Oh, shit! Oh yeah, using all 420 of that horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque of yeet! Woohoo!
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and the brakes.
And the brakes are good.
Okay, center console. We got a lot going on.
We got
I'm
opinionated about this.
Okay, let's go. So
about the center console.
So center console wise, we got the big long screen.
Yep.
Super bright, super colorful.
Yep.
And then, thank God, we have a whole panel of touch stuff.
Physical buttons. Thank you, GM. GMC, GM, whatever.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you guys watched our Subaru Outback Wilderness review, my personal car, I love the console, I love the screen, but then there's like no physical buttons. This to me is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love the center console.
Your heated seats, your cooled seats, you've got heated seats that's butt and back, just back. You've got your cooled seats. All your HVAC controls are
you got
physical
suspension
buttons.
Stuff going on.
Yep, we've got the differential lockers down there. We've got the hill descent control. We've got a button to snap the tailgate down. We've got your like auto stop start button. It's buttons. They're physical buttons.
Everything down here should be a masterclass in what needs to be a physical button.
Except for this thing.
The engine, the
I
start-stop,
hate the stop-start
giant
button.
silver button.
It's giant, it's silver, it's a stupid shape. I'm gonna be honest here, it's a really dumb shape. There is so much room where every other manufacturer puts the stop-start button on a dashboard.
Okay.
And they put it here. Some people are gonna like it.
I don't mind it there only because it's there with all my other buttons, and if it was tucked away, I'm an idiot and I wouldn't be able to find it.
The placement of these buttons irks me.
My arms are not long enough to touch them. I have to
no.
lean forward to touch the buttons.
Now that being said, they've done a good job of like taking the whole center console and it's shifted, like it's angled towards the driver.
Okay.
Which is cool, so it makes it a little bit easier to get to. My Tundra is not. It is all flat and I hate it.
Right.
Like that's one of the biggest arguments I have against the Tundra.
I do appreciate the
it's
slight
difficult to reach everything.
importance to the driver, because obviously
It's
you're
nice.
far more important than if a person's here.
Yeah.
What do you think about the screen?
I love it and I hate it.
Okay.
I'm the jury is out for Patty Rick on the screen. It's a 13 point, I want to say 5 or 6 inch screen, so it's almost as big as the Tundra's. The Tundra's 14, but the Tundra is like a 16 by 9, like a traditional.
Yeah, this is a very long display.
Yeah, this is a very long screen, which is great, but like when I've got my wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, which is really nice.
I appreciate the wirelessness. That's pretty neat.
It's great. It takes up the left 2/3 of the screen, which is good. It's closer. It's easier to glance at.
Right.
And like the right side of the screen is cool because you can look at your trailer. You can see what music is playing.
So at least they're utilizing the space well.
Yeah, you can look at the onboard nav, which is from Google, so it's a good navigation system.
Yeah. I think because of the way I sit in the truck to feel comfortable, it made the screen to where I wish it would lean up some, but once I found out the screen can't angle, I was like, okay, it is what it is, it's fine. And I didn't have a problem with it, had no problem seeing it and stuff like that. Okay, so before we
do our
seats,
race, which
yeah.
is gonna hurt me, I'm sure. I'm fat and out of shape. Let me show the audience exactly where your seat was. Give me 7 to 8 business years.
Okay,
and
so
we'll get there.
We're prepping up to swap drivers. Let me get the audio thing fixed.
Yeah, here we go. This is where Chase had the seat this morning.
It's so much more comfortable for me though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is neck problems more comfortable for you? It might have been in frame. I don't know.
Hopefully. All right. So come down a little bit because I don't want you to have anything to bitch about that I beat you.
I've got my memory seat, dog. I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, you already got your memory seat in? You that fancy bitch. All right.
I'm bougie.
I just want to be clear. I won the Subaru.
Hold on. No, you didn't.
100% I did.
You won the Subaru because you added the fact that we've got to put our seatbelt on afterwards.
Okay, so
which is some horseshit.
Oh, this wait, you saw.
Oh! God, this seat's on fire.
Speaking
These seat
of fire,
heaters work.
hold on.
Ouchie,
Allow me to get into my position that I need to be in to drive correctly.
Yep, give him 10 minutes.
Patrick, I'm ready.
He's taller than I am all of a sudden. Is this? Oh, that's what it is. You just want to be taller than me.
All right, back to the screen. Talk. You had some things you wanted to talk about with the screen.
I have opinions about the screen. I like that the CarPlay is like the 2/3 of the screen to the left. Like I like the Google built-in navigation. It's cool.
Yeah.
I don't like that I have to sign into it and like connect it to all these other apps to get it to really work how it should.
Let me tell you
when
why.
I have Google Apps on my phone.
That's fair.
Wirelessly CarPlay.
I'll tell you this. I think this is a situation where the default nav in my Subaru is in TomTom.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And it's slow. It's slower than the lag on the screen. So
Which is hard to do.
Right. The fact that I even have Google as my built-in, I'm like, you know what, dude? I can look past a lot because I would much rather have a nice responsive screen.
Yep.
And it be Google than like, cool. So in 2002, when this screen and this information was done,
TomTom probably should have gone out of business. No, I'm kidding.
right. So I think because of the TomTom thing in my car, when I see the Google thing, I'm like, I'm okay with that. I do agree though, like nobody wants to sign in on the Google thing. You know what it reminds me of? When you get a new video game and they're like, okay, cool.
Sign up for a Ubisoft or an EA account.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Dude, I just want to play my game. Also, just take my data from some other account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at with that. You need to tell me, this is an AT4X.
The differences in the AT4X versus a AT4 versus a standard Sierra 1500 luxury truck.
Why am I paying more money for this thing? Because I imagine it's a little more than the badge.
From a running gear performance standpoint, there are some major differences. So apart from the badging, obviously, that is both on the interior of the truck, it's on the exterior of the truck, it's on the tailgate. We've got the red tow hooks up front. We've got a straightaway. Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Are you though?
No, I'm not at all.
I wouldn't be.
I say that just because I feel like I'm obligated to say that.
No, that's fair. But we've got the red tow hooks on front. The lower part of the front bumper is specific to the AT4 and the AT4X models.
Okay.
It does have that 2-inch suspension lift we talked about earlier, and we'll show you a little later on. It's got the 18-inch alloy wheels, the special edition wheels,
right.
And it's also got some really nice all-terrain tires that we just spoke about in the off-road segments. It's got unique LED lighting on the front, like the running lights on the front headlights that are really pretty.
Yes.
So we'll take a look at those a little bit later. I love the turn signals on this truck, which is again part of that LED lighting package.
Right.
Heated and vented front seats are specific to the AT4 and the AT4X. This Vanta wood trim is what they call it.
Oh.
Super cool. The nice, really dark black wood trim that's in here.
I love that.
Yeah. The white accents are called Kalahari white, which is a very cool name. So the seats themselves have white stitching as well as white piping on them. And then the center sections of the seat have some really nice red stitching accents.
Jesus, man. This is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a fair bit.
Do we know what this truck cost base versus the AT or the regular Sierra 1500?
So like a standard quad cab short bed Sierra 1500 is gonna start somewhere in the mid to low 40s.
Okay.
And this guy is $84,000.
Steep price jump, but the stuff you're getting, you're sitting here naming all this stuff, and I'm like, a lot of that I absolutely love.
Yeah, and
so
that's
I'm
not
like,
even the big stuff.
Oh, what's the big stuff?
So for us off-road folks, the tires are, they're great. That's probably, if you were to buy these particular tires, you're probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 to $1,500 in tires.
Oh,
the wheels are going to be $400 to $500 each if you get them from the dealership.
Shoot.
It has a front and rear electronically controlled lock, so which means approximately nothing to you. But for us off-road folks, essentially what that means is, like when you hit the gas on a loose surface, gravel, mud, or whatever, you get a wheel that starts spinning, but the other one doesn't?
Yes.
This one will make both of those wheels spin at the same rate. And it'll do it for all four.
Nice.
So that's usable in the 4-low setting. You put it in the right modes and things like that, it'll allow you to lock those front and rear diffs, which will get you out of almost any scenario. If those can't get you out of it, you're not using the correct tire.
So this is actually a pretty capable off-road vehicle then.
Yeah, no, it's she's beefy.
The question is, do you want to take an $83,000 vehicle off-road?
So that's a good question. Myself, I don't think so. But again, I don't make the kind of money to afford an $85,000 plating.
Oh, obviously I can't really talk about cars much, but I'm in the same boat, like looking for a motorcycle that can do off-road stuff, and there are some really expensive ones, and I'm like, I love everything about that bike, but I would be scared to take it off-road, but I'm also not in the tax bracket to afford that bike. So
Yeah,
it's
if I
situation.
could afford a KTM 1290 Super Adventure R,
yeah,
then I could then just yeet into the woods and not care if I break it.
So I'm starting to get an idea of who this truck might be for.
It's the KTM guy.
We'll talk about that later. Okay, so
it's the KTM Ducati Triumph guy, the high-end Triumphs, to be clear.
Is there anything else about this package specific?
The AT4X has a couple of extra bits that the AT4 does not. So the AT4 has like a nice sound system in it. This has the Bose 12-speaker sound system with subwoofers. And in the tailgate, we've got the Kicker Bluetooth audio system. Like there's a lot of stuff that the AT4 has. And then there's a lot of stuff the AT4X has on top of that.
Gotcha, okay.
So other things the AT4X has is gonna be the skid plates. So for us, again, us off-road guys, this truck is for, is you've got skid plates under the engine, you've got them under the transmission, you've got it under the front and rear differentials.
So you got a lot of
You've got it under the
there.
transfer case, you've got it under...
My seat just vibrated and trying to tell me something. What are you telling me,
Speak
truck?
to me.
What are you telling me?
Is little Timmy stuck in the well? Speaking of seats that vibrate, 16-way, power adjustable, power lumbar, heated, cooled, massaging.
Yeah, so as far as so let's talk about the driver experience, like let's parlay into driver experience, because I don't think there's anything on this truck that it can't do that I would want. So the seats vibrate when the truck is trying to tell you something.
So if you're backing up.
If you're backing up, so this morning I was backing out of my house, a car was coming by, the backup cameras notice a car, and my seat starts vibrating in the direction that the car is coming. So there's a difference in a whole seat vibrate, a right seat vibrate, and a left seat vibrate.
Yep.
That's insane. It's scary the first time it happens, but
it startled me. It startled me when it first happened.
It's incredible because now, without knowing anything and what's going on, if my right side is vibrating, I know that something over there is happening. I would much prefer that over going onto the highway.
Gotta love a highway pull, boys and girls.
Didn't mean to scare you on that one.
I wasn't expecting it.
Part of me wanted to catch you off guard. But yeah, so the seat thing vibrating.
Mission accomplished.
The seat vibrating in a direction, I would so much rather have that than the beep all the time. So as far as the driving of the vehicle, this feels like a truck.
Yeah.
It feels big. I feel big on the road. I have this presence about driving, and it changes how you drive. I don't know why, but being in this big old truck and I'm higher up than normal.
Well, yeah, you've got your seat somewhere between here and Neptune.
It is kind of weird for me being a car slash
motorcycle. You're so used to being tiny.
Yeah. This is totally different, and it takes some getting used to, but once I got used to it and I could actually appreciate the drive, this thing is so nice.
And speaking of the drive, the amount of driver's aids and technology that are on this truck, like this, GM markets this as a luxury off-roader, and that is absolutely what it is. It's got lane keep assist, it's got lane departure warning, it's got rear cross traffic alert, it's got the vibration for all this stuff, it's got the auto distance cruise control, it's got the pedestrian collision warning, so it'll beep and then brake for you in the event it sees a person.
Right.
Like, it does all of this crazy amount of tech. It makes it feel like a really high-end luxury premium product. Yeah. And for 85 grand, 84 grand, it should.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where, like, you say how much it costs, and when you first told me how, like, when we found out that we were going to get this truck, you were telling me how much it cost, I was like, that's a lot of money. Driving the truck around and feeling how just comfortable the thing is, I'm like, okay, I get that. All the little accents of things on the dash, the screen's really nice. It has all the driver aids that you're starting to expect.
The touch materials are like, the steering wheel leather is nice, the dash leather is nice, the center console leather is really nice. Everywhere you put your arm on the door is really nice.
And let me tell you, the moment I got in this truck and it was icy outside and I turned the steering wheel heat on, the seat heat, both bottom and top, bro, I'm chill.
Yeah.
I'm warm.
Yeah.
Not chill.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
You're chilling because you're so warm.
So being a car driver, talking about the driving aspect of the vehicle, this being a big truck, not a big truck, but a massive, like,
it's
vehicle.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's a for a full-size pickup truck, it's huge.
It's a big full-size pickup truck. That's the way I would say it. So one of the worries I had was I'm not used to driving one of these.
Yep.
So, you know, I feel like I can see a lot, which is, I didn't expect to have this much presence and visibility around me, so I love that. But I'm not used to taking up this much space. So when I got
takes up like the lane.
Yeah, so I kind of worried about that because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle something like that. There are so many cameras.
Yeah.
I was worried about having to, like, if I owned this truck and my wife and I were going to go to downtown Atlanta to have like a date night or something, I don't know if I'd want to take this truck because I wouldn't be able to maneuver it in a tight spot. And then I click on the cameras and I'm like, bro, I could park within inches of things.
Yeah, it's got the 360 camera. So there's five, like you said, there's 5 cameras. You got one on the front, one in each mirror, one at the third brake light, and then one off the back. Now that being said, both of the side mirrors can view your wheels going forward. Mm-hmm. They can view straight out, they can view straight down, and they can view your wheels going rearward. So if you've got a parallel park it, you can get millimeters from that curb with pinpoint precision. Your front camera is going to keep you from bonking the guy in front of you. Yep. The back camera is going to keep you from bonking the guy behind you.
And the side cameras are going to let you literally get exactly like touching things.
And then the cameras are great. The mirrors are great.
So I know like the cameras in a truck thing, but as a guy that's not used to driving something so big, it actually like takes away my primary worry
Yeah.
buying a truck this
It makes
big.
it more comfortable. It makes it like,
Because
I'm
I'm
not
not want to buy
worried-
a truck and look stupid trying to park the thing. But I would
That's
if I
fair.
didn't have all the cameras.
yeah, no, that's
love-
fair.
the cameras
I mean,
are
I
my
look stupid
absolute-
anyway, but that's just my face.
Oh my god. So final thing before we get off the highway is the lane keep. So your truck has the lane centering.
Yeah, so mine has lane keep, which keeps you between the lines, and lane centering. So it will find the middle of that lane that you're in and just keep you in there.
This thing kind of ping pongs you between the lanes. So like, it'll keep you in the lane you're supposed to be in if you start kind of drifting.
Yeah, if you're not
But-
paying attention, but it's not going to do it for you.
Right. And I just got a seat vibration on the right side because the wheel was touching the side of the road. So that's kind of neat. But one of the things I notice is, and this could be me just comparing the car that I'm in all the time.
Sure.
The lane keep is a little too subtle. I wish it was a little more like, hey, dummy,
Yeah, like-
get your thing going.
Yeah, for a truck that's this big and that is a 7,100
I kind of
pound
want to be a
wrecking
little
ball.
forceful. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't mind it being like, hey, get in your lane.
Yeah.
Now, cool thing about this is it's a big truck. It's meant to be towing things. For me, it doesn't have enough tow capacity personally.
Right.
It's the off-road truck. It doesn't
But
have the
if
tow
you are
pack and all that
towing-
shit. If you are towing, it has 2 hookups at the back for you to put 2 more cameras on a trailer. And the system is pre-wired for it. It's got all the buttons for it and all that stuff super easy.
That is pretty neat.
That's super cool. Speaking of trailer stuff, this has tire pressure, TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system
Okay.
in all 4 of these wheels. It then comes with 4 spare sensors to put onto your trailer so that your truck can monitor your trailer tires.
If they have all that in the truck, why is the towing capacity not a little more? Like, if you've got all this dope stuff to help out with trailering.
I don't know. Now the
Alright.
system, I think it's just because this is the same trailer monitoring and camera system that you can get like on the 3500s.
That makes sense.
So,
Okay.
you know, your really big rigs.
I got you. So
Big
they're
rigs.
using multiple
Yeah,
pieces
they're
for other
cross-platforming stuff, which is great.
items. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've touched on everything drive-wise. Let's get pulled over. Let's jump out of the car and let's talk about the outside because it's big and it's pretty.
It's big, it's pretty. Oh God, and you're
My poor fuel economy.
13.5.
I don't drive like this all the time. I just want you guys to know this. I need to get out of this thing before I get in trouble. I thought I was driving.
No, not
Aw,
this time.
man. Cameras are weird.
Cameras are weird, man.
Let's talk about the front of the truck. Front of the Sierra 1500. This is what we were talking about when we said it's big. You saw it in the camera car footage. Now we're standing next to it.
I'm 6'3", 325.
It is so big. On the front, headlights.
I really like the headlights. The dual beam LED. The high beams are really bright. The low beams are really bright. These sweet little accent lights are really
That
nice.
is my absolute favorite thing. When you got in the truck and you cranked it up and I saw those in my rear view, I was like, yes.
Yeah,
And
'cause-
they blink.
Continue in the front. The off-color grille. This kind of like bronzy gray kind of and black setup on the grille. I like it. I'm a fan. I think it's kind of odd because it's the only piece of bronze anywhere on the truck.
Yeah.
Everything else is black, but I
Right.
think it looks good.
I love the red, red, red.
Yeah, the red toe hooks are nice. They're, you know, similar to the Subaru Outback with their action items. It's just to let you know they're there. They also just look cool,
It also
frankly.
matches the color of the dash. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the dash, the trim on the seats, the other badging on the rest of the truck, it looks really, really nice. These little guys are cool. They're little air vents.
Right.
I was told they were possible brake vents, but it doesn't make any sense. So I think it might just be for an aerodynamic thing because they enter here and they exit here.
They do kind of look cool though.
But they look cool. They look good.
I'm
It's a
here for
cool
it.
little accent point. I like it. Fog lights are really great. They're super bright. They're very, very low, which some people will argue that it like doesn't work as well, but they're meant to cut under fog. That's the whole point.
Oh.
So you want them to be low so you can see obstacles on the road.
Right.
It's got this really cool, this whole bumper is steel up here, which is really nice, so you can bonk it into things and not have to worry about it when
Hopefully
you're
you
off-roading.
don't on an $85,000 motorcycle.
Yeah, you don't
Not a
want
motorcycle, but a truck.
$85,000 truck, you don't want to be bonking into stuff. But if you do, there's that, and then also these Super 6 skid plates that are up under the bottom, under your engine, transmission, both front and rear differentials, and the transfer case. It is coated in protection up under there.
She big to the side. and to the side.
All right.
Fun fact, she's still big.
How many C's? 7? 8. Thick.
Thick.
She thick.
With lots of C's. We got the cool badging on the side.
We do.
We got the V8
We've
up
got the,
front.
hey, it's got a 6.2.
You're not going to forget.
You're not going to forget. We got the AT4X.
What do you think
down
about
there.
the AT4X logo? Do you like that badging? I think it looks cool.
I think it looks cool. I
like the razor bladiness
yeah, it's
of it.
It's extreme. Like, it's cool. I like it. I don't have anything bad or good to say about it. It's fine.
All right, fair.
All-terrain, four-wheel drive extreme. That's what it stands for.
Dropping knowledge bombs.
So this guy right here is our rock slider. It's a tubular or a non-tubular steel rock slider. It's mounted to the frame of the truck. So in the event you're off-roading and you like bonk it on a rock or you are on a stump and you got to get past it, you're not going to hurt the actual body of the truck.
Oh, and fun fact, if you're short, you can step up on it.
Yeah.
Which it is so tall that I have to.
These really big Goodyear all-terrain tires on these nice 18-inch wheels look really good, really offset the truck, I think. I like the black and white, very Stormtrooper look. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to like this.
You know I'm down for the black wheels.
You and I both, brother. You and I both.
I love it. I think the tires do a really good job. The tires and the wheels do a really good job of making the truck look that really aggressive that it does. I wish on road they performed a little better because it makes the truck feel a little sluggish to me. But I would sacrifice that sluggishness for the like aggressive look because I love that so much.
It looks fantastic. You're gonna get a little bit of road noise. You're gonna have some issues in the rain. Not issues per se, but you're gonna have a little less confidence in the rain with these tires.
Let's talk about these giant doors.
They're huge. We thought the Tacoma doors or the Tundra doors were big. Tacoma doors are tiny. We thought the Tundra doors were big, which the Tundra rear door still is, but this is a larger front door than
Open that bad boy up.
Yeah,
let's see what we got in there.
Huge.
All right, so let's get a Patty Rick size test in there.
Okay, Patty Rick size test. 6'3", legs body proportionate, 325 pounds. I'm a big boy. Is what it is. We're going to talk about these handles. I hate them. Like, hate them. I hate them.
They do not make you feel secure.
I hate them.
I'll give you that.
If I could remove them, I would. So plenty of leg room. I can, touch the back where I like my seat to be. I got plenty of space. I can reach all my vents and everything if I lean forward a little bit. Just again, how I like my seat. But tons of headroom. Ours does have a sunroof in it. So the AT4X has a sunroof. So you're going to lose a little bit of headroom from that, but even then, I've got plenty.
What do you think about that floorboard?
I love these floor mats. I love
floor mats in the front and rear are solid.
They're so good. We'll show them to you here in a minute. The rubberized on the outside and like the carpet in the middle is both functional and it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm a happy boy.
I think these are some of the best floor mats I've seen, and I think my Subaru ones are fantastic. So
I really love the Subaru ones. These are really good. Rear door, again, not as big as what we find on my Tundra.
Still huge,
It's normal. This is a normal size truck. I will say with my seat where I like it, I'm not gonna have a lot of room. I'm really tall. I like to have a lot of leg room when I'm in the front seat. Now, I also sit a lot further back than a normal person.
Right.
The rear grab handles also suck balls. They are bleeping terrible.
It does wiggle more than we feel like it should. All right, how much space you got?
Like, legs are right into the seat. I'm a little disappointed by that.
So we do wish there was a little more space in the back.
Yeah, for sure. What is nice about the back, heated, cooled seats, you've got vents, you've got USB ports. So like,
so you got all the creature comforts.
The creature comforts are great.
A little more space.
And you've got good, you got lots of cup holders back here. You got 4 just for the rear.
Jesus.
6, I lied, there's 6 back here.
All right, let's go to the back. Nope, you ain't hitting me.
I missed him.
All right, let's talk about this way more fancy than it has any business being tailgate.
Yeah, it's cool. It is a 6-way functioning tailgate. So we've got standard tailgate mode.
Okay.
And then we have tiny tailgate mode, which...
Sweet. Now you have like a tabletop situation.
Yeah, I mean, you got a tabletop, I guess.
If I was gonna fillet a fish, I would do it right here.
Would you?
I don't fish, so I don't know.
I could also not have it. I don't even want it.
I think that's part of this entire truck. The majority of the stuff that makes this truck awesome is I didn't have to have it, but
it's
you
cool.
get to have it.
Like, it's neat.
You know what else is neat?
The fold out,
That is neat.
it's cool. It makes sense for two reasons. One, it's a step.
Show them how else it's cool.
This is a kicker system. So it's a kicker audio system. It's a two speaker, internally wadded or internally amplified, 2-speaker, 500-watt system, totally independent from the cab.
Yep.
So if we're out at a rallycross event and wifeys are chilling in the truck in the AC, they can listen to their music. We can listen to whatever dumb podcast we want to listen to that day.
We have Bluetooth and aux cords for this.
Correct. Now, what you did your cool step up a second ago, but you missed probably the best part.
Nuh-uh.
It's stable, I promise.
Bro, shut up.
It's cool.
Hold on. Trying this again. One, that is the most easy way to get into a truck. Secondly,
now the big benefit, I love how Chevy did this, Chevy, Ford, or Chevy, GMC, GM in general, how they did this is really nice. I don't like how Ford does it. Opening this whole ordeal also takes forever.
I do. That's one of the things I love everything about this, and now I love it even more. But it does take a little long for the mini tailgate. I wish that was a little faster, but I mean,
it's also brand new. It's not worn in, so it may get faster over time. It does have that soft open clutch in it, which is nice. So it opens slowly.
Let me get down. It's so easy because it's steps. I love it.
This annoys me.
This is kind of
this is annoying. To close this, I can't just lift up on this because the tailgate's so light, which is great. But I've got to close that and then close that and then
close that. You know what? I love this tailgate, but I'll give you that. I don't mind you giving it crap for that because it does. Yeah, it's a little much.
It's cool. It's very cool. I like a couple of the functions. I love the speaker system. That's rad.
Do you need it? No.
I think it's a little gimmicky.
How dare you? As far as this goes, I freaking love it.
It's cool. It's cool. I'm not denying it's cool. Let's be clear.
Yep. Okay.
It's just it's a little gimmicky for me.
So other form things in the back. We obviously have a tow hitch.
We got our tow hitch. We've got
all our receiving plugs and stuff like that.
Step. We do have
little steppy boys on the side.
The corner step, trademarked, is what.
Really?
Corner step is trademarked by GM. It's really nice because it's got like a nice little grippy thing in it. This is a solid metal bumper. You can step on that all day. You're not going to hurt it.
Right.
The LED lights in the tail are really nice. They're also got that accent light in there.
I'm kind of here for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you don't do the steppy down thing, you got these boys that are better. So
I like that they give you a lot of options for the functionality.
Right. What do you think about the badging?
Again, I like the badging. I'm not a big chrome guy, so I would black these out myself, but
my only comment was
really,
if this could be blacked out, this outer portion of the GMC, and then that would be peach.
For it being white and black, I kind of want to black out all the logos.
Yeah. Same.
Other thing that's cool back here, camera. There's 2 cameras up there. We got more cameras on there. We got cameras all over the place. It's great.
Also, in the bed, there's a pluggy thing.
So we've got, same with most modern pickup trucks these days, we've got a nice 3-prong outlet back here. You've got one in the back seat of the truck as well. You've got one in the center console of the truck. They give you a lot of power options with these trucks, which is really, really nice. You've got really bright LED lighting for back here. They're both built into the sides here, as well as the
over there by the cameras.
Where all the cameras are, there's all the lighting. Makes sense there. You've got multiple tie-down points, so you've got 3 on either corner built into the bed.
I really like the material of the bed as well.
Yeah, the spray and bed liner is really nice. It's a super grippy material. It feels nice. It keeps your stuff from sliding around too much.
We also have the cool AT4X logo kind of into the bed, which it's just a nice touch.
It's cool. Do you need it to be there? No.
But if you're paying 85 grand for a car,
it better
for a
be.
truck, I want to know.
It better
I want to be reminded all the time. It's like, wait, what am I paying for? Oh, right, AT4X, gotcha.
Yeah, all these fun things. All right, so we got another couple of things on the back of this truck that are really, really interesting. This guy right here is a lock. As with most modern trucks, the spare tire is under the bed, and you have to use a crank system to lower it down. That is a lock for that crank system, so nobody can just come by and steal your spare tire. Okay, I've never had that problem. On the other side, we've got our standard big round trailer plug. We do not have a 4-pin plug on this truck. So if you've got a smaller little U-Haul trailer or whatever that uses that 4-pin plug, you're gonna have to convert it to the 7-pin, the big old round boy. no problem there. But above that, as we talked about with the camera systems, you've got 2 plugs for 2 trailer mounted cameras.
That's pretty cool.
So nice.
So the towing is kind of more towards the bigger deal towing, not the kind of like small deal towing.
Yeah, it's oriented for really big towing with a sub 9,000 pound towing capacity.
So it's like a brief window.
Yeah, there's a very small window of a large enough dual or triple axle trailer plus cargo that this thing can pull. But again, it's like the Ford Raptor, the Ford Tremor, the Ram TRX. It's an off-road machine. It happens to be able to tow things,
right,
and it happens to be a truck, but its main focus is luxury off-road.
Speaking of that, let's talk about the ideal client for this thing at the front. Oh my God, Patty, hurry. This video is so dang long already.
I know, we're trying, buddy.
I'm sorry, guys. We're trying to do full car reviews, and we're not cutting stuff out because this shit's important. Okay, so final thoughts of the truck. What are your top favorite thing, and what's your least favorite thing?
My number 1 favorite thing is probably the off-road capability.
Okay.
I love off-roading vehicles. I like overlanding, camping, things like that, and I'm a really big fan of the capabilities that this vehicle has.
Least favorite?
That's hard to say, and it's honestly not for a good reason.
Okay.
There are a couple of things I really, really don't like.
Okay.
I think my number 1 least favorite thing is those grab handles.
I was about to say, if you don't say the grab handles, I'm
it's
gonna slap
100% the
you.
grab handles. I use the ones in my Tundra constantly, get in and out of the truck, what have you. It's you know, I have bad knees. It's easier to get in and out with those handles.
Right.
These are really, they're flimsy. They feel cheap and they feel flimsy.
Yeah.
And I'm not comfortable with them.
All right, so my favorite thing is the ridiculousness of the luxury that a truck has. I know that's kind of that's a wide girth of what I'm saying, but every little detail is like, I don't need any of this, but I want all of it. That's my favorite. Least favorite is probably how big it feels. The cameras help a lot, but coming from a car person, it does, like, you take up a whole
Coming
lane.
from a truck person, it feels big.
Okay, so let's talk about the ideal client for this truck. Tell me I'm wrong. It's a guy, you gotta have enough cash, that goes without saying. It's a guy that wants to do off-road, but he wants to do it in absolute luxury and style.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Do you need it for what that is? Absolutely not. There are way cheaper things to do.
A $5,000 Jeep Wrangler, a TJ, is going to off-road better than this.
But are you going to feel like a CEO of a company while you're going down the road? Right. That is who needs this truck. If you have the cash, you want to do some off-roading, and you want to be the most comfortable at all times.
Yeah.
That.
So question, final question, at least my final question. If you had the cash, would you buy it?
If I had that kind of money, not being super familiar with the market, I love this. I am the guy for ridiculousness because I can afford it. If I had that kind of cash, absolutely. No shot I would not.
See, if I had the cash, I don't know if that value's there for me.
But if you have the cash, you don't care.
Right, well, I'm not saying if money's no object.
Oh, that's why.
If you're looking to spend if you're looking at full-size pickup trucks,
right,
to daily drive and do some off-roading.
Okay, here's the question. I give you 90 grand. Would you take 90 grand to get a vehicle, or would you buy this?
I'd take the 90 grand.
Okay, you can't say what you would buy because you'll have to save that.
It's true.
If I had 90 grand, I would buy this and I would not be upset. I would love every second of it. Honestly, the cameras would sell me on it.
The cameras are sweet, dude. They're so cool. If you've got more money than sense, this is what you need.
I love this truck too.
No money, no sense. Also, no money.
All right, that's the end of the video, you guys. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the On Four Wheels channel. And
that's it. Hold on, just subscribe. Like, subscribe, the bell notification.
Okay.
We need as much algorithm help as we can get, y'all.
True, if you can't tell by the video. All right, so do all those things, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see another truck review that we've been mentioning this entire time, there's going to be a link at the end of the video. Go check out Patty's Tundra review that we did. So that way they have a good comparison about what we were talking about a lot.
Yeah, because these trucks are very, very different, but they do a lot of the same things, just this one does a lot of them better.
And fancier.
And fancier. My truck does a lot of things better, not as fancy,
but gets the job done. Outro crew, let us know, are you the type of person to go form over function, or are you an idiot like me and you just like fancy shit? Let us know in the comments down below, and we will see you guys on the next one.